starting now. Cool. Then I'm gonna get this out quick. We are going to pull up the live stream. Cool. Got the timer going down. Oh, I need to start my lovely podcast music. There we go. Okay. God, it's already Sunday again. What the hell? I feel you there. I've done that a few times. Hello and welcome to another episode of SpellCast. I am your host, OSK. With me is my guest, Treygo, and we're about to get ready to start this thing off, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. For those of you that are new to the show, this is SpellCast. It's a weekly podcast that I put on pretty much every weekend. We kind of change up the day here and there, but the time will always be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's always a fun time to get some discussions about Spellbreak and the current state of it, as well as a few things that we'd like to comment on here and there. Treygo, tell me, man, who are you? Introduce yourself. Why should we listen to you today?
I'm Jake Treygo Little. Everybody knows me as Treygo. It's my middle name. I solely play Toxicologist for Spellbreak on Twitch.
Great, awesome. And how long have you been playing Spellbreak?
I've been playing. I just hit 7 months actually.
Wow, 7 months. So that would have dated you back in was that closed beta or closed alpha?
Yeah, closed beta 2.
Oh wow, so you're really recent then.
Oh yeah,
You're the new one. You weren't here for all the big history that everyone talks about.
no, I'm not. I wish I was.
It was definitely a fun time to be able to experience that early part of Spellbreak, but now we have a bit of a new perspective with you coming in. You know, you don't really know all that sort of stuff. You're getting it kind of boxed in as it is currently for the most part, and you've seen it change here and there. It's really nice to have that kind of perspective, you know, where people kind of expect something when it just first comes out, it changes a lot, and then it's almost like a completely new game. But that's not really the case with you. You've been playing this brand of Spellbreak since day one for you, really. But what got you into Spellbreak? How'd you hear about it? How did you start playing?
So before Spellbreak, I played Apex. Apex was my main game. I watched a streamer named Taxi. I don't know
Mhm.
if too many people have probably heard about him, but he's a professional Apex player. And one day he was playing the game, and no, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a couple of years ago, I saw Shroud put a video out on
Ah.
YouTube, and I heard about the game from there. But then it just disappeared. Never heard anything else about it. And then that's when I seen Taxi playing it. He
Hmm.
ended up raiding Lacuna, and then I went
Oh
in
wow.
Lacuna stream. He was talking about giving away codes. I got a code from Lacuna. I think I was playing a mixture between Apex and Spellbreak on stream. And after that week, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. And then I pretty much just only played Spellbreak from that point on.
Wow. So, do you come from like a really heavy FPS background, or are you just kind of all over the place like I am? Like, what's your background
Oh
as a
yeah, yeah.
as a
So
streamer?
I played all sorts of MMOs, but actually majority I've never really had a gaming PC until like February of last year. Other than that, I've
Oh
just
wow.
been solely on console. And yeah, I made the switch in February, and it's been amazing.
Well, that's awesome, dude. I'd like to congratulate you for hitting that 1,300 follower milestone. Definitely
Thank
not
you.
easy to do. I mean, getting over 1,000 itself is hard enough, but you're at 1,300 on Twitch of all places too. Not the easiest place to grow in terms of like a new streamer, a new content creator. So big congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Um,
I have Spellbreak to thank for that for sure.
Definitely. It's always nice to send over a raid your way too. As far as the Element crew, I'm like, dude, get my boy Treygo over
It's
here. It's
awesome.
great.
It's awesome. I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Well, what that kind of begs the question now. What got you into streaming? You know, and yeah, what kind of got the ball rolling there?
So I've always just wanted to have like a real easy way to like go back and just see what I did in a game and like reflect off of that. And pretty much that's how it all started. I just wanted to go get clips, be able to post them easier, have a way to watch, and people
Mhm.
watching in the process.
Wow, so this really started over like an extended way to VOD review yourself then.
Pretty much.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Like from a dedication perspective, you know, just having that mindset of always want to improve, and while in the process, I might as well have people watch me while I'm doing it. And I mean, obviously, I put it in the description of this podcast. One of the premier toxicologist players to watch if you want to learn, if you want to try to get good, if you want to learn more mechanics for that class. Like you're one of the go-to people I send people to. So I mean, it
Yeah,
seems to be
thank you.
working pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that it's amazing how many people will come into stream just to watch or to Q snipe, and the amount of progress I see from them. And one of the biggest people who have gotten amazingly good is Cozy. If you've ever seen
Yeah.
Cozy play, he's an
Oh yeah.
amazing toxicologist, and he started out Q sniping me and Q sniping a lot of other better players, and he is a force to be reckoned with now.
Definitely. I think he actually won, if I remember correctly, game 2 of our scored scrims yesterday, actually. So, yeah, dude, he's doing great. 8 exiles, no less, too. In a lobby like that,
Yeah.
man, it's tough to do.
Oh, yeah, he's doing great. I think I finished in 10th. I'm pretty sure he got 2nd, maybe 3rd.
Hmm?
But, yeah, he's doing good things, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So in kind of going with that, obviously you have more new players showing up to your stream. You're saying the Q sniping, they're trying to improve, trying to get better, or just trying to like show up on your stream. I mean, there's always that too, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know. It does happen.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you're trying to like create a space for all these new players to like kind of jump in with better players, improve, sort of like how Timmy has a stack solos thing. What exactly are you trying to bring to the Spellbreak scene in terms of that? Like, are you trying to create this community for newer players, or are you just trying to like focus on yourself and dial in?
So solely, I have been streaming, I have noticed like I will take a lot of time to talk to new players and show them and explain to them what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I could definitely see the stream definitely being like more accepting for new players rather than everything being stacked and the best of the best. This is what this is, but this is what it could also be, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a lot of room there for improvement, as well as just community outreach, that sort of thing. So obviously you're one of the better toxicologist players I like to talk about. I'm sure that you were one of the few that were very, very happy about the Shadow Step revert that occurred in Chapter 1. You're saying that if I remember correctly, that the lack of momentum transfer now gives you an easier time to sort of sidestep damage and then get that extra little bit of outbreak off. Can you maybe elaborate on that?
So the revert, the way I look at it is it's a nerf and it's also a buff at the same time. Nerf in the aspect of the momentum, because I love the momentum. Honestly, if the momentum stayed, I probably would use Shadow Step more. But the way that it buffed you was you can combo your outbreaks easier instead of a 75 and then Shadow Stepping again, and then maybe getting like a 50 to a 35. You get 75 real quick. But that's another thing that's also very hard with toxicology is it's so hard sometimes to land that full outbreak and not have your invisibility broken anymore.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. I'm seeing kind of a two-sided coin with it myself, like both a nerf and a buff. I would say it's like you were saying, it's kind of a buff to the people who are already used to it with toxicologists, how you can kind of get that sidestep going. And it's a nerf in pretty much every other aspect. So like you're not going to be running it on any other class really, unless maybe you're a conduit. If you had the momentum transfer or something, that kind of made it more accessible to different classes. And now it's like it's just kind of the sidestep thing that not everyone wants to pick over dash or something like that. The cooldown doesn't really help it either.
No, it does. I feel like if it had a second less cooldown, I feel like it would be a bit more viable. But the cooldown on it in comparison to dash for movement, it's just dash is going to win every time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell you what here. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit because you put out a little tweet not too long ago about people complaining about toxicologists, and I'm going to put it on up here for people to see if you don't mind.
That's fine.
All right, I'm looking for it right now. Let me see.
It might be down a little bit. I do be posting a lot.
Dang, you really do post a lot. Those of you that can't see this, I'm scrolling through Treygo's stuff real quick, and it's like day after day after day. It's crazy. When did you put this up? I'm still trying to look for it, man. I can't find it.
It might be like a month ago. I don't know.
No, it was like it's just the other day. I swear. Let me see. I'm a Control F. Okay, Control F and look for it. Well, anyway, you said something to the amount of you're terrible if you think that Toxicologist and Shadow Step is still overpowered. Like, can you elaborate on that?
Say that one more time.
All right. So if I remember correctly, the tweet that you put out said if you still think that Toxicologist and Shadow Step is overpowered in the current meta, that you're basically terrible at the game. Maybe you can. Well, maybe you can clarify.
I'll elaborate on that.
I'm paraphrasing. By the way,
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, I was super drunk when I posted that, and I think I deleted it after I posted it.
That's what it was.
Yeah, no. What did I say? It was something along those lines for sure.
Dog
Uh,
s your dog s if you think it's still that way.
yeah, pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, I was definitely, a little bit under the influence when I posted that. But no, if I had to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
real about it, if you wanna complain about Outbreak and the amount of damage that Outbreak does, we can look at what Tempest can do now. We can look at Pyro. We can look at Conduit. There's all sorts of different changes that need to happen if you were to ever touch Outbreak again.
Okay.
And that's my opinion about it.
Okay. So where do you kind of see Toxicologist in this meta? Because I think it's like kind of
Bottom.
average to above average. You think it's bottom?
I think we're pretty low in the actual meta right now.
Really? Why so?
Just everybody running Pyro, the focus mana builds, the recklessness builds. I feel like Toxicology right now, with the way that the meta is, we're getting out damaged, even though we have one of the most damaging skills in the game.
Okay, I could see that to an extent. Like, as Outbreak is a heavy damage mod, but you still have those long cooldowns to really work around. Is it more like the lack of being able to escape once you land your Outbreak, or is it just the inability to get close and reliably land your Outbreak?
I'd say getting close and reliably hitting your Outbreak.
Huh. Interesting. Do you think like is it more because like there's not really that close range engagement nowadays in Spellbreak, or do you think it's just that the opponent has more movement options? Or I'd really like to get in a big discussion.
I'd say it's more leaning towards like the more like competitive side of players. That's where it's starting to get hard to actually fully impact what you can do with Outbreak and everything else, because it's
Hmm.
the way. And then that also with Shadow Step. Shadow Step is so predictable now. Also with the shortened movement, you
Yeah.
almost immediately know where somebody's going to be anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, this was something I was calling out very early on just to build off of that. Like Shadow Step itself, like I would have people back like, I don't know, in alpha days when this was a thing. Shadow Step has like this directional cloud kind of animation where you can see where they dash to out of that black initial cloud that happens whenever you first activate the rune. And you can kind of like get a gauge on where they're going to appear.
Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't notice it. Now, like, it hasn't been changed. I think people are, like you were saying, starting to really wake up to that, and they're starting to counter that. Not only that, but like we were saying earlier, the cooldown. Like most people run dash nowadays, so like you're automatically at a disadvantage that way.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it too. Do you think that now that focus mana and recklessness are starting to be played a lot, and a lot of people are trying to use a lot of fire on their offhand gauntlets, do you think that has something to do with it too?
Oh yeah, 100%. Easily. Just the fact that you're doing over 50 damage with just one fireball plus the projectiles. Well, I guess you. Wait, do you ignite if you have it offhand?
Only if you have ambidextrous.
Okay, yeah. Okay, never mind then. But still, 50 damage plus fireballs are kind of ridiculous when I have maybe one chance to hit you for 75. Other than that, it's just a normal toxic slap.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to branch that off to yet another discussion. This is the one that happened recently. Okay. I put out a video on my own channel. I didn't expect it to get like this big discussion. I thought I would like put it out, people would agree, and then be done with it. But no, it's actually being talked about. So, damage mods and Spellbreak. I'm gonna bring this up because you brought up 50 damage fireballs. Where do you see where do you see the current state of the game with how focus mana and recklessness are currently, as well as fervor? Like, do you think that there's a problem there, or do you think that it's
I
fine?
definitely do. I definitely do. I did watch your video too, and I definitely 100% agree. Damage mods in the game are kind of ridiculous. I mean, they were a good idea from the beginning, but now that I see like we're getting further in the progress of the game,
Mhm.
something needs to be done. They either need to be relooked at or wiped.
Gotcha. Just full wipe, you say?
Yeah, something. Either fix them or full wipe it.
Gotcha. What are some of the ways that maybe we could fix it?
So I'd say with focus mana, they definitely could nerf the damage down, plus 30% damage. Plus, with a lot of the other classes, it's kind of ridiculous. Fervor, I
Mhm.
agree with you on how they should do fervor. I feel like fervor should be just buffed into each class, and maybe you could do something with it after that. But other than that, no, because with how time to kill is right now, time to kill I think is very,
Mm.
very, very low or very fast. You can
Yeah,
kill somebody in almost seconds.
yeah,
It's easy.
I would agree with you. And in fact, we have one of the main offenders of this in the chat right now, Tacos. Thanks for the compliment, by the way. But he's been running this glass cannon build with Tempest, and I'm seeing him 3-shot people. Man, it's crazy.
63 damage fireballs. Bang bang. You're
It's
dead.
literally a stream title by itself. It's crazy, dude. It's a 3-shot meta with fireballs, man. And
It's crazy. It's nuts.
yeah, and I was commenting on my video earlier about how like I regularly will go into Clash with a glass cannon frost, and all you have to do once you get that final little circle is just wait another half second, jump up before your shot, and you're hitting literally over 100 damage for free. Like not even mana drain.
Not even mana drain. You can keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah, you run scavenging.
Infinitely.
You run scavenging in the middle talent, and it's just like, oh, someone damaged me. Well, I just shot this man to oblivion, and I got 50 shield back.
There you go.
That's all there is to it, man. But no, so my personal perspective on this kind of thing is like you remove the talent, because here's the thing. I don't like having damage without a really, really specific or difficult condition for activating it. So like Frostborn, you're sacrificing the extra half second that someone could shoot you for an extra 35% damage. For Tempest is one of the one of the classes that I wish would be looked at yet again. I think Squall, the way it currently is, just jumping, like that's nothing.
Yeah,
So,
if I were to change how Squall's procced, I feel like the second you start like jumping or flying and you see your trail, I feel like once your trail is shown, then Squall should be procced.
Gotcha. So maybe at the apex of the jump then. Or like half a second in the air or something like that.
Something has to give, because instant is not, that ain't cool.
Gotcha. And to kind of build off of that, something similar. Tacos in the chat right now. 1 second for activate. That's literally a revert. We're just literally bringing it back. That's funny. But anyway, I want to comment on Frostborn as well again, because Icicle is kind of like the same way with Icicle, except it's not a damage buff. It's a lack of mana cost, so I feel like that's fine. But we can also talk about like Outbreak is one of the best examples of this, to be honest, because it's such a specific mechanic you need to take advantage of. You need to be invisible in order to take advantage. You need to be. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And not only that, you have to be up close for that toxic to get like all the value that it's worth, you know? Like I feel like that's probably one of the more well-defined conditions in the
definitely.
game. Yeah, of
definitely, because it's because from a distance you're hitting anywhere from 19 to 35 on an Outbreak compared to 70, or was it 65, 70, 75, 80.
It's up there. I think if I remember correctly, a legendary toxic will do, I think, 54 with a full burst. I might be wrong on that, but I think it's 54, and then 75% on top of that. I know it used to be like 64 or something. I think they nerfed it, but anyway, I'm probably wrong.
With Focus Mana, I'm pretty sure it hits for 54, something like that. Gotcha.
So we can also talk about what my favorite class to talk about when you want to talk about damage buffs is Conduit, because well, for one thing, potential energy exists. For another thing, Power Surge is really starting to rear its ugly head right now, especially with Focus Mana, dude. Have you paid attention to what exactly the interaction is on that?
Oh yeah, I ate a bit of it from Gigabyte yesterday in the scrims.
You're getting eaten up by the wind a little bit.
Oh yeah, I got wind sheared to death a few times.
God, I was watching it back and I was trying to figure out, because there was like a point in time when someone, like a superhero landing on him in the middle of a building, and the dude was just gone because the wind shears were hitting for like 16, or it might have been 18 damage. I forget which one.
I think at one point I watched him hit for 18 with his wind shears.
I thought so too.
18.
Just imagine 18 damage. Holy moly, dude! It's obnoxious. It's so obnoxious. And I like here's the thing, because toxic, when you're up close, fireballs can eat through it, and it does it. I don't know if it does it for you, but it does it to me pretty regularly. Well, I'll be slapping somebody, and then it's just like, oh, fireball right when you're trying to shoot, and now you
Yep.
just can't slap me.
Yep. Fireballs deleting my talk slap happens every single day, man. I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
That's so funny. But yeah, fireball kind of has that sort of interaction with stone, but wind doesn't really have that. I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's fire that kind of like blocks it off a little bit, but like there's so many flying at you.
So wind with tox clouds, if it hits your tox cloud before it hits the ground, it'll delete it instantly, just like if a stone boulder will as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So like, I was testing this earlier on for a video I didn't release. Apparently, when you use your wind shears on your own toxic cloud, it'll like change the trajectory of wherever it's flying. But like you're saying that if a wind shear hits your toxic cloud, like your own toxic cloud, it just deletes it.
It's gone. That's gone. It just poof. It'll just make the mist, the non-damaging mist.
I've had that happen to me before, but like it's something that seems like I don't know if this is like the changing trajectory thing, if it only applies to your own toxic cloud, or if it's like the enemy going to your toxic cloud that has that interaction, or like where exactly that do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, does the enemy have to be attacking it?
I'm pretty sure if an enemy hits your tox cloud before it hits the ground, it's gone. But if it's your own tox cloud with wind shears, then it changes the direction of it.
Ew, I hate that so much. I actually hate it so much. Can we get a little consistency on that? I know it does it with tornadoes 100% of the time. I know that is something that happens. I didn't know that the enemy wind shear, that's actually nuts.
I don't know how many times I've been fighting dark breakers and he's wind sheared my tox clouds and they've just blown up. No invis, no nothing, just stuck.
I hate that so much, dude. Like let me ask you this. Like, I know using wind shear on a toxic puddle will cause it to like dissipate into the toxic mist. Does it also create little clouds, or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, if a wind shear hits a tox puddle on the ground, it'll create so it creates a damaging mist, which is like a green. The non-damaging mist is like a brownish green color for my screen anyway. That's the only way I can tell the difference if it's going to be damaging or not.
But I remember
sometimes it's hard to see the toxic mist.
Gotcha. But does it create like a little miniature cloud though, like the little puff? You know? No, I remember that being a thing, but maybe
it won't make. The only way you'll have like a baby cloud is if they don't wind shear it all the way down, and you can actually still VM off of a nothing cloud if it's still there.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. I just had a memory in the memory banks about when I was casting something, and there was like a little tiny cloud that someone made a play off of, and I was like, did he like wind shear that? I couldn't remember, but anyway, I appreciate your input on that, because like in my opinion, damage mods, dude, we need some kind of condition to be met. Like I feel like 80% mana for focus mana for 30% extra damage just like is too easy, dude.
It is, and the fact that it's still a 1 cost is kind of ridiculous.
Yes, it's a what? Well, okay, so here's my perspective on that whole thing. Like it can be 1 cost, it can be, all right, but like just don't make it better than a 2 cost, you know?
Yeah, because like, it is. Low key, you could even say that maybe focus mana is a 3 cost, because 30% extra damage is kind of big. It depends. I just twisted my words. It's pretty big considering how much damage most of these gauntlets do already. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, if you want to think about it, Harmony's a 3 cost and it blocks 15% of damage.
Yeah, I think Harmony could honestly be a 2 or it is a 2. It could be a 1.
Gotcha. My personal philosophy would be to like nerf it to the value of 1 cost instead of like changing where the talent is currently at. Like I don't feel like nerfing the cost of a talent is an effective way of solving the problem. I think that's kind of a band-aid. You need to like attack the mechanic itself.
You could nerf focus. I feel like a fair nerf to focus mana would be 5%, 8%, 15%.
Just nerf it into oblivion pretty much and make it like a niche thing, kind of like how recovery was done.
Yeah, because recovery, in my opinion, it's completely useless unless you're running vigor. That's the only way it's good anymore.
Hmm.
Which I still see some people running focus mana fervor recovery, and I honestly don't know why.
Yeah, No Ace notably did that yesterday. I think he's
Yeah, I was
still
very
tied up on recovery.
surprised.
Yeah,
Very surprised.
it's crazy how much of a difference like that 15% makes. You know, like you're
Yeah,
still getting quite a bit of health if you get burst damage on, but like over 6 seconds, it's
but
such
how
a
fast time to
smaller
kill is,
amount. Yeah,
it makes it rough. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's an argument to be made that like once recovery stopped being necessary, more people are starting to pick up these damage mod builds, and now it's like exacerbating that problem almost.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, completely agree for sure.
Yeah. Well, in terms of other balance changes that happened, obviously we saw conflagration get touched quite a bit. I mean, it no longer collides with your own person's fireballs anymore. It just applies ignite, and now you have combust like doing just a teensy tiny little bit of less damage towards the outer part of combust. So that was kind of a good change in my opinion for pyromancers. I called it a net buff for pyromancers. I don't know what your perspective is on that.
My only complaint about Ignite is the fact that you cannot heal while you're ignited. I've had so many heals canceled. I've lost so many fights just because I took a simple little tick from Ignite. I feel like if they made it so you could heal, because when you have corrosion on, you can heal. You still stay in Viz.
I was just
I
about to
feel
ask
like
that. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that mechanic, I feel like they should keep the same on both sides. You should just be able to heal no matter what if you're being damaged.
I would agree with that, honestly. I think, like you're saying, Ignite's just so oppressive when you get it procced on, and it's like you're not only controlling, like you're not only seeing where the guy is fleeing to, but you're also controlling his options as well while not doing anything.
Literally,
Like,
literally.
yeah, I feel like you're absolutely correct right there. Going on the other side of that spectrum, though, Stone got touched quite a bit, but I'm still seeing it used quite a bit. Like I feel like a lot of people are really playing into that 25-meter limit that they have, where they're using it as that close range option. I've never really noticed anyone like taking it seriously, using it as a poke damage, except for like a clip or two. You know, like
Right.
what's your experience with that on the higher end style?
So with Stone, I'm still noticing because I know they said that they had adjusted how it hits and everything. I'm still noticing being hit in the air quite a bit, which I don't know if that's from the shockwave or what. But the most I've been seeing with Stone is people using Stone Tempest. That's pretty
Stone
much.
Tempest.
I haven't really been seeing too many people using Stone Fire anymore. It's pretty much Stone Tempest, and
Why?
it's been so annoying, so annoying.
What is the point? Like, what's the okay? So is it Stone Shaper Wind, or you're saying Stone Tempest, like running Tempest with the squall buff, but staying on the ground, right?
Or vice versa, running Stone main hand with Wind or etc.
Okay, gotcha. I was about to say because like you're seriously seeing Tempest Stone, like 3 hit.
Squall's crazy. Squall's
Yeah,
crazy.
I saw that one clip from Tacos. I saw that one clip where he's like jumping just before the shockwave animation like finishes out, and he's getting the squall buff on the stone on the shockwave somehow.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know how that happens.
If somebody gets good at abusing that, that will be ridiculous.
Ugh, can you imagine like because like
Fix
the build
it.
that yeah, because like the build Darkbreakers and Megaverse were running for quite a while with Focus Mana Fervor Recovery. I guess now you can slap Recklessness on that, and then you have Squall on top of that, and you're just getting Glass Cannon Tempest with Stone. Like,
ridiculous damage.
oh God, I don't. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I don't want to put that thought in people's heads. Y'all better stop. But
well, I know what I'm gonna see in lobbies tomorrow.
no, it's cursed. Stop it. Don't do it. You're gonna make me angry. But anyway, dude, I want to ask you personally, like in terms of your stream, like because there's been a lot of marketing going around that we've been seeing with YouTube sponsorships in particular. I know that quite a few bigger names are being sponsored to, say Spellbreak is a game that exists, you should play it. Have you been seeing a lot of growth on your stream, or have you been
I've
not really seeing
I've
it that much?
definitely every day. There's at least 2 to 3 people who come in. Hey, I just got this game today. What are your thoughts? What should I do? This, and that. So there's definitely people coming in, and I just seen that that Steam had over like 5,000 people playing today, and that's the highest it's
Yeah,
been.
I'm actually pulling it up right now. Yeah, let's
You gotta give me
there
a
we
minute.
go.
Lay down.
Oh, is your cute little pooch wanna get in on the action?
Yeah, he's trying to get on the action.
I know, man. Outbreak's broken. I hear you.
I'm gonna go throw him outside real quick. Come on,
I gotcha. Here, I'll show this off for y'all. Here, while he's taking care of his little poochie. But yeah. So if y'all are in the dark about where Spellbreak is currently on the Steam charts, we can take a look right here. Let's transition this over real quick.
Right. We're good.
Yeah. So I pulled up the Steam chart real quick. I'm trying to get it to where it zooms out to a month. I forget when exactly the first day it came out was.
Damn, when did it come out?
I'm just rewinding back as far as I go. Okay, December 16th. So this is when it was December 17th at noon. Whatever time zone this is in, it got up to peak players 4.7 thousand, and right now, or just like 2 o'clock, yeah, this is Central Time, so 2 o'clock Central Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, it got up to over 5,000. So it's more popular on Steam. Yeah, more popular on Steam now than it was on release. So whatever they're doing, I mean, I like it. I like it a lot.
Whatever little progress is big progress in my eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna leave that up because I think it's a thing of beauty. But
it is. It really is.
Yeah. Here, let me make it. I'm gonna make it KEKW big. Let's go. Five head, 5K. There we go. I'll keep my mouse 5K. Right there.
There we go.
All right. Cool. Nice, big, and celebratory. So that's something really, really exciting that I'm looking forward to taking advantage of myself. But yeah, I've seen an uptick on viewership. Whenever I first released that meta snapshot prediction that I had about 2 or 3 weeks ago, like it was getting off a pretty good traction. That must have been like back here towards the release. And now, like, it's been getting just more and more views as time goes on. You can see that with the Steam chart. Like, it just follows it really, really nicely. What I really want to keep track of, though, is like how many of these accounts are getting in and staying in. Because
right,
yeah, like as you know as well as I do, that like Spellbreak has always had kind of a retention problem, and I'm really hoping that Chapter 1 is a good way to keep people playing. I don't know if it will be, but I'd like to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I honestly, I think once Chapter 2 comes out, I believe like we're gonna start seeing real big numbers, because I know that they hinted at leagues and a bunch of other things that they plan on coming. Because I believe that they said that leagues is supposed to come out towards the end, Chapter 1, into Chapter 2, and I think once we start getting more modes and everything, I think we're gonna really start seeing more players come and try this game out and hopefully stay in.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I'm trying to figure out what exactly leagues are. Like, I've obviously seen the clip, same as anyone else, but like I still have no idea what exactly it is. Like, because I know at the very beginning they were talking about guilds, and I don't know if it's a ranked mode that they're trying to do, or if it's like a guild system. Do you have any idea what it could be?
So I feel like it is definitely going to be some sort of ranked mode, because I feel like guild would be completely separate from what the image leaked. So I'm definitely thinking it's more towards a ranked mode.
More towards a ranked mode.
Which I would like to see leaderboards be brought back. I think a leaderboard would be cool.
Yeah, hopefully better than what they had previously. This is where I get into the part where you young whippersnapper weren't here for that pre-alpha time. But I don't know if you've heard of it, but this leaderboard that they had way back in the day, it was a weekly leaderboard that obviously refreshed that often. And basically what it would track is whoever had the most wins that week. No win rate, no exiles, no nothing. But it did break down by class. So basically what you would do is you would get a week off, or like find some time where you had some time to grind, and then you'd like get all the way up to number 1, put in your stream title forever that you're number 1 leaderboard or like number 1 toxicologist, and then just like not worry about it anymore. You take a screenshot, put a little command in your Twitch chat, and that's that.
There you go. Content.
Yeah. If they bring it back, I hope it's something different. That's my only wish.
I definitely would want something different than that for sure.
Yeah, one of the things. This was actually I covered this not too long ago, where I think it's a good short-term solution. If you have a leaderboard, to like have your all-time, have your global leaderboard, break it down by region if you want to. Of course, everyone's being forced into NA East right now, but
yeah. Bring back NA West. RIP NA West.
RIP NA West, yes. But yeah, I feel like if they do it well, a leaderboard that tracks win rate, that tracks maybe KDAs in there, maybe you track your time played to some extent. Like the more time you play, but the less results that you have, like they'll drag you down leaderboard. I think if they create a good system in that way, I think it'd be a really, really good thing. If they don't, then it's just going to be another pre-alpha story.
Yeah, I think I could definitely get down with something like that. That would look cool on the game for sure.
Yeah. So with this leagues mode, getting back into that, like, did you ever hear any mention of whether or not they're going to be accompanying a more competitive game mode than Battle Royale, or if they're just going to attach it to that?
No, I haven't. I think from what the image looked like, it looked like Clash, like kind of like. Well, I know there was three people, so I'm thinking it's going to be like team based or like Clash based, where it's 9v9 3v3.
Where'd you see this at?
It was on Twitter. I can't remember who posted it, but somebody posted it.
Like when was this? Because I haven't heard this. Is the first time I'm hearing about it.
A month ago maybe. Hold on, I'm going through my page right now, see if I can find it.
Yeah, so I see from the 23rd of December, like people are asking what are leagues, like from the proletariat, proletariat stream.
Maybe it was on Reddit. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm not finding much on Twitter. I just typed in league Spellbreak. I'm not finding much.
Let me go to Reddit.
Yeah, dude, send me the link so we can look at that. It's the first time I'm hearing about a 3v3 type thing. Oh, we got Spellbreak League. That's another competitive community. I found it, guys. Here, Crashy posted a speculation video I could probably watch through. But I don't think I will during the middle of the podcast.
Yeah. Let's see.
Anyway, I think it would be really cool if instead of going the BR route, if they had like, even if it's a scuffed Clash mode where they just cut down the amount of people to 3v3 and just shrunk the zone a lot, or like maybe like grouped together. Because here's the thing with Clash is like, I see this as being a very, very easy fix. Obviously, it's probably more complicated than I'm making it. But if you wanted a scuffed arena mode just for the short term before you create something bigger, you could literally morph Clash into like having, because you know how they have that dividing line in the middle and they have all these portals everywhere. You can literally just map the portals to go into a specific part of the map. And then you can just make a really, really fast moving zone if you wanted to, and just have a 3v3 that way in a very, very small area. I feel like that would be a really easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wouldn't be ideal, but it'd be better than what we have currently, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like Clash. I feel like if they were, because I know duos right now is an LTM mode. I feel like the Clash, they should make the LTM mode, and every week they should do like, let's say a 1v1, a 2v2, a 3v3, a 5v5. I feel like that would be something really good for them to do, and they can leave open all three normal modes instead of taking duos out within the next, what is it? Doesn't duos leave tomorrow? I think it is.
They said through the weekend, so I guess it does. That is one of the decisions where I look back and I say, what are you doing? Because like,
yeah.
Look, I know like before this whole release thing was starting off, it was the least played mode or whatever, but like I just hate the thought of it being a limited time mode. It was
Oh
there
yeah,
on release as locked off, which means that hey, maybe they're working on it to like bring it back as a permanent mode. Like it's in the same category as solos and squads. You know, it's right there in the middle. I feel like
right.
making it a limited time mode is just bad taste in my mouth.
It's not the move. It's definitely not the move.
Yeah, not only that, give it less than a week too. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, especially when people have been asking for it since release.
Yeah. Now, a little bit of hope. Let me give you a little ray of sunshine. All right, because Gordon hinted on Twitter that we're going to be using duos, the limited time mode, to gauge how many players are playing, and if it's good enough, maybe we'll do more with it. But
Okay.
so far personally, I'm not convinced. But if I'm wrong, then that's better.
Yeah, we'll find out the next day or two if we had enough people, I guess.
Yeah, ain't that the truth, dude? But
Yeah.
building off of that though, in terms of limited time modes, personally, I'm not a big fan of limited time modes. I feel like if they bring arena, it better be a staple, because if you make that a limited time mode and it pops off, can you imagine the outcry whenever they remove it the first time?
Oh, people, yeah, it would not be good. People would leave.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think people would definitely leave because when you put something in the game and people really enjoy it, you definitely don't want to take it out, especially right now. Because I think that's how people feel with duos.
yeah,
They're happy it's back. They don't want to see it gone.
yeah. At least let it die before you remove it, right?
Yeah,
Like
something.
that's my philosophy. But I'm not a game designer. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I don't do none of that. I just play the game. You guys do you.
Right, right. Well, speaking of this game ongoing, obviously there's a bit of a. I saw a little bit of a Twitter discussion earlier on about how some people are sad that, or actually it was on Reddit. I think I actually have it down here. Here we go. This is the post I was actually referring to. So this one reads, "If this is how it works, I wish they weren't marketing chapters as a story, because no, this is actually a really really good post that I wanted to comment on myself, but I wasn't 100% sure how it worked at first. Whenever chapters first released, I learned this after, because I was gone for like 10 days for my Christmas vacation or whatever, and I come back and I realized that the story quests that I thought I was going to be able to replay actually weren't even available. So I just missed like an entire week's worth of XP. But like when it was marketed to me and we were like saying, oh, this is going to be an ongoing story, you have story missions you can do and it's going to change every week. Like obviously in the prologue, all we had was like different, we had different elemental quests that didn't go away whenever you skipped a week or whatever. Like you could still do your pyromancer things even if you missed the week. The pyromancer was the highlight. And then whenever we get into chapter 1, you have the things that are around the map that you're supposed to collect, that you're supposed to use to progress the story. And then what happens when the week turns over? The quest is gone.
Yep, I've been noticing that, and I hate it because I was actually whenever the last quest rollover was, I was like, oh, I forgot to do the quest before I got off. It's gonna be gone tomorrow, and sure enough, the next day, I wasn't able to do it again, and I was like, that's kind of annoying because in most games you can they give you, you will be able to go complete that quest while doing the next quest for the following week.
Right, right. I feel like it kind of, because I don't know. This might be a stretch, but whenever you're marketing the game as like an RPG battle royale and you're like trying to really promote that role playing, if you miss out on that bit of story because you had something else to do, like it kind of eliminates the role play a little bit to some extent, because you're like eliminating the build up to whatever story you're creating. Especially if you're a new player and you're getting in the middle of chapter 1 and you learn that there's part of the story that you can never go back and experience. Like,
yep,
that's kind of...
It's not a good look at all.
No. So that's something that they could definitely change chapter 2. Honestly, if they wanted to. Well, this might take a little bit longer than what they have as far as time-wise, because any client-side update that they make, they have to get approved by all these different companies to then roll the patch out. So maybe it's not the play. But yeah, if there's any way that they can make chapter 2 where if you miss a week, you can go back and replay that first part, that would be the play. I think
That
that's
would be
something
awesome.
that they do.
A lot of people would definitely be happy with that. I know I would.
Yeah, me too. I miss the HoloLens for Christmas, guys. I'm sorry. It's just it was family oriented, and I just couldn't do it. But anyway, another big part of that too is like it's not a small chunk of XP you're missing out on. If you're like a casual gamer like myself, I don't really, grind 8 hours a day or anything like that. But if you miss that 7,500 XP quest by like one task, and you can't get it. Oh, dude, it's gross. It's gross. But anyway, I know people like you aren't going to have any problem with that. But someone like me who only plays like, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 times a week, like that's brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
You guys are missing out on a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, but I'm kind of anxious in chapter 1 because this part of it makes sense. Where if you want to like introduce new elements to how the game is played, like they in the trailer, obviously they had those portals that are coming out, and they had that the fracture featherfall, I'm going to call it the FF, the fracture featherfall, wherever you dive into this little updraft and then it like makes you featherfall on, just like in the trailer. I'm very, very anxious to see if they have more than just little elements like that in the game, or if they're actually going to have sweeping map changes like they did with Bogmore in the middle of the patch. Really, really anxious for that.
See, what I would like to see is different final circles, because I'd say majority of the final circles, they're all pretty much the same every game. Like at this point, I think I've seen every final circle, and I'd love to see a final circle in Bogmore where the floating rocks are. I think that would be amazing to have a final circle down in that area.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel the same way. I really want to get your take on an evolving map as the game goes on.
That would be crazy. I would actually like to see that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I pitched this not too long ago, but like you could literally like as the game goes on, you could have the fracture tearing up the map more and more to where you have more. Obviously, it creates more chasms that are annoying for players, but you don't have to do it like that if you don't want to.
Right. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, like personally, I would very much like it if, like as the game progresses, those little open areas that you have on the southern and eastern part of the map where you literally just dive off the cliff and you're in the fracture sort of way.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool.
A couple times.
Yeah. It would be really, really cool if you had like little chunks of boulders or chunks of rock coming out of the fracture or being blasted off from a different part of the map and creating an entirely new platform or arena over there. Like just some sort of makeshift map that you can do. And then the zone ends over there.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Nobody's ever actually said anything like that before. Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. I feel like that's definitely something they could easily do, considering how the map is. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about easily, but like it would be cool.
Well, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is easy, but implementing, that's hard.
Yeah, that's a lot of work for your artist, man. If you're a starving artist, you better get to work because like
you better get to work.
You got a lot of work to do. But yeah, dude, stuff like that with like the fractures spitting out different rocks and platforms that you could float on, like as the game progresses, like gives that really dynamic feel. I don't know. It gives me Ring of Elysium vibes whenever you have this like blizzard. Have you ever played Ring of Elysium, by the way?
I have not.
Okay, so basically the way the map works is like you're on a resort, there's a big blizzard coming in, and the helicopter only has like 4 spots. So you start with 100 people, and it's a battle royale. You gotta eliminate people or escape on the helicopter, and there's only 4 spots. If you can't make it into those 4 spots, then you're dead. So I feel like
sounds interesting.
Yeah, I feel like with like a kind of like a crisis sort of scenario like that in Spellbreak, I feel like that would really intertwine with the lore quite a bit. Maybe not, because then the HoloLens would just be like swallowed by the Spellstorm or whatever, but we already kind of are at that point anyway. So
I definitely would like to see that. That's a really good idea, actually. Somebody call the developers, get them in on this.
Like, hey Andy, can you pass this off?
yeah, here.
Andrew, I'll give you a little chili pepper sauce over there. Give me a little quid pro quo action. No. Quid pro OSK. No, we won't do that. But no, I think stuff like that would be cool. This is just stuff like I just think about whenever I'm like laying in bed at night. I'm like, how can I make Spellbreak
Things
awesome?
that keep me up at night.
Yeah. So, could the fracture destroy the Hololens as the map goes on? I have to write that down. R/shower thoughts. But anyway. But yeah, I mean, personally, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really played a whole lot of Chapter 1. I'm still waiting because like my whole thing is like Clash was really fun for like 3 weeks, and then it's like repetitive because I'm not trying to brag or anything, but like most of the players in Clash are like brand new, and every time I log in, it's like 20 plus exiles, and it's getting a little stale. So I don't play that very much. And then Battle Royale is basically a waiting fest in my eyes. So like I don't play that as much. So like I'm kind of in this crisis where I really want my arena mode that I can jump in, that's at a good difficulty level that I can spam. And right now it's like I have the spam, but it's too easy. And the other option is to wait a while for some good competition. Like
So in the last couple weeks, solo lobbies have actually been pretty full, consistent. I think the only time I'm noticing like low level players or low level numbers is like really early in the morning. But once like 11 o'clock hits my time, the lobbies are popping 35 plus for the rest of the night. So
Gotcha. What time zone
lobby
are you in?
wise have gotten a lot better. I'm in Central.
Okay, you're in the same time zone as me then. Um, so like, do you see that kind of traffic like at 6 o'clock too? Because that's like my prime time to play is like
Oh,
6 p.m.
6 o'clock, you're getting 42 people lobbies.
Oh, that's good to
Easily,
know.
easily. And,
I'll
and,
have
and
to
that's
revisit that.
another thing where I've noticed the player base picking up. I don't know if it's more people are coming back to play or more people are hitting that level 24 threshold or what it is, but there's definitely a lot more people filling up these lobbies. And from what I've noticed, because I've bounced back between duos. I haven't played squads or clash in a while, but between duos and solos, it seems like the player base seems to be pretty even here and there. Duos might be a little bit lower at certain times. I think I played a couple with Cozy yesterday, and there
Mm-hmm.
were a few that were really low. But if you backed out and requeued 2 times, you'd get a full lobby. So I mean, there's still little things here and there, but for the majority, solos have been pretty good.
Well, that's good to know. I'm gonna take that knowledge going forward now. Are you seeing a lot of new names in those solo lobbies, or are you seeing a lot of repeats that you already know?
I've definitely seen some new names. Having the full crossplay definitely helped as well too. I'm seeing a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
really good console players too. They've been pretty impressive. But definitely new names for sure.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm gonna have
And
to
yeah, and that
have to
goes
revisit
along
that.
with how Stream is too. Stream with the new names in there as well. Like we seen the Steam player count. We're definitely getting players. Might not be
That's
as many as we want, but we're getting some.
that's really good to know. I just realized that my screen's back on. Y'all can't see that. There you go. Um, but anyway, yeah. That's really good to know. Now I'm gonna have to dive back in, I guess. We'll come out with a stream tomorrow, guys. But anyway,
Hey,
as far as the overall direction of this game, man, I like in terms of casual versus competitive. I really hope they take a good hard look at those damage mods because I feel like if they eliminate those damage mods, it really gives especially the newer player base more time to think so that they can really start to like get the noggin jogging of what makes this game great instead of just getting blown up and saying I have no idea what happened. And with that, I really think that that's going to promote a more competitive community, but also it's going to help the casual side out as well. Like,
yeah, it'll definitely be healthier for the game overall. I definitely agree with that because I once these new players and the new players have jumped from the new lobbies to the higher level lobbies and
mhm.
they've noticed immediately how different they are, and they get deleted in seconds, and they don't like that at all, and they ask how can I prevent this from happening. Well, it's a little difficult right now.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. In terms of like where the game is going, I definitely see them trying to tweak things that kind of cater towards the competitive side of things. Like, obviously, the recovery thing is something that we've been outcrying for a while, ever since it wasn't touched in Prologue. I feel like it took them a little bit to kind of get on track of that, but once they did, like, it was obviously a good change, and it's like shifting the meta quite a bit. And I really, really like it whenever they are consistent with that kind of thing. So hopefully it's a sign of things to come where they're paying attention to what maybe some of the more experienced, some of the better players are running, and maybe they'll start basing some of their changes on that. That's what I hope, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's I'm right there with you. Hey, buddy,
Yeah.
well, calm down for a second.
It sounds like your little buddy over there is getting a little bit antsy, and it's actually...
He hates when I sit in the chair because he knows he doesn't get any attention.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're getting about to the end of our time here, so I won't keep you for too much longer. Let's go ahead and start that outro here. Been a great guest on this podcast here. Let's go ahead and get some shout outs, get your stream out there. Where can people find you, and where can they watch your gameplay, man?
Twitch TV, /Treygo TV. Shout out to OSK, of course, Element, Proletariat, everybody who is pretty much just running this community. Timmy, Marcus, Tacos.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and amongst many others.
Oh yeah, so many to count, guys. If you have any questions about where to find Treygo, I do have the links down in the description of this stream, so check them out there. You can also find me down at the very, very bottom because I don't like to stand out, but go follow Treygo for sure. That is going to conclude episode 7 of SpellCast with my boy Treygo. Hopefully y'all have a great night.
Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, for SpellCast, again, we'll be doing this weekly podcast every single week on the weekend, and I'll be updating you on Twitter. Make sure you follow that Twitter because it's going to be your prime spot to get some updates. Treygo, you've been great. Hopefully you have a great night. And give your good boy some attention. And
he's trying to get in my lap right now.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Y'all have a great night.